In this lecture, we will be analyzing India-Bangladesh relation from economics point of view. We will also look into how China aspects are interlinked with this economic investment in Bangladesh. But before getting into understanding of this issue, one formula you should remember. Which formula it is? This E is equal to E. What this means? This E stands for economy and this E stands for empowerment. So basically, for anyone to be empowered, whether it is in human perspective or it is in national perspective, if anyone wants to be empowered, then he has to improve its economic capability. Okay, when we are talking of women empowerment, we talk of job opportunities to women. Why we are talking of job opportunities? Because it is related to economic empowerment of that particular women, and that leads to overall empowerment of any person. Okay, why we are discussing this formula? We will get understanding of this once we are complete with this video. So let's start with this chart of last 10 years from 2011 to 2021. This is trade analysis that shows how India's and China trade has grown over last 10 years with respect to Bangladesh. So if we look into this bilateral trade, then we can see that India to Bangladesh bilateral trade has grown by almost 330%, while in case of China, Bangladesh-China, it's only 181% growth. So this shows that the bilateral trade growth between India and Bangladesh has been significantly higher compared to China. Okay, you can see. And this also indicates a robust strengthening of economic ties and increasing interdependence between India and Bangladesh. Okay. Why this issue is important? Because current situation in Bangladesh has a lot of impact on this bilateral trade. Okay, so you should get understanding of how India and Bangladesh are related and dependent upon each other economically to get a clear picture of geopolitical aspects of this region. Okay, so next is exports to Bangladesh. India export to Bangladesh has grown by almost 356% over last 10 years between 2011 to 21, and China's export is 180%. So this shows that India export to Bangladesh have grown much faster than China. This can be attributed to India's diversified export portfolio to Bangladesh that includes textiles and machinery and pharmaceuticals. Okay, now third category is Bangladesh export to India and China. So Bangladesh export to India has grown by 271% and to China it's grown by 190%. So here we do not find much difference. So Bangladesh export to both countries have grown definitely with a slightly higher growth rate to China. And however, the gap is smaller, you can see, indicating that Bangladesh export growth to both countries is more balanced compared to import growth. So this overall chart has some strategic significance also. This also gives some strategic insights. We can see, we will see this strategic insight in three economic terms. First one is trade deficit, then the second is infrastructure investment that India and China are making into Bangladesh. And these two aspects has implication on this regional influence also. Although for regional influence they are investing, but this investment has a key factor in influencing their presence in Bangladesh. So let's start with trade deficit. So trade deficit with China remains significantly higher. You can see we have seen this in percentage terms, this growth in percentage terms. But if we go in number, see, trade deficit with Bangladesh and between Bangladesh and India, it's $5.6 billion. But if we look at with China, it's $12.5 billion. So you can see almost it's more than double, I think. Yeah. Okay. So you can see that despite the higher growth rate in trade with India, Bangladesh trade deficit with China remains significantly higher. This reflects China's substantial export volume to Bangladesh. Okay. Then moving on to next is infrastructure investment. So basically India and China both are very much affected by what is happening in Indian Ocean region. So that's why China is playing one of the important role in Indian Ocean countries, like we can see in Sri Lanka, we can see in Maldives also. So in all these countries, China is basically challenging India's investment and India's strategic significance in the region. So if we look into the Bangladesh perspective, China's heavy investment in Bangladesh infrastructure, such as this Padma Bridge and Paira power plant, have definitely boosted economic influence of China in Bangladesh. Or in contrast, India is mainly investing in bilateral connectivity projects like Akhura-Agartala rail link and Mongla-Kolkata waterway. Okay. So this definitely gives a regional influence to these countries in the region. The faster growth rate in India's trade with Bangladesh highlights that India's growing economic influence in the region. However, China's substantial investments, like we have seen in number terms, and trade volume still poses significant competitive challenge to India. Basically, this trade deficit, when there is high trade deficit, this definitely impacts foreign relations also between the nation. Okay, so this now what we have discussed in the starting, E is equal to E. So this influence gets reflected into empowerment of any nation. Remember that formula that we have discussed. When you are investing more, that means you have sufficient economic capability to decide on your foreign relations, on your international relations, on your say on international matters. Okay, so you will talk for greater role in deciding world order and on many policies that have global implications. So we will discuss that in detail in geopolitical aspects of Indo-Bangladesh relation. But for this lecture, we have mainly concentrated on economic aspects and how it's strategically related to India's foreign relation with Bangladesh and its link with China.